What's up? Ghost Fictions is here, and we're back again. This is the part 6 of a story where Issei was the grandson of the legendary demon hunter Dante. But before we start, please consider subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Don't forget to check the description for more informations. Now, let's get into part 6. Scene break. A few days passed after a very eventful week that was Kakebiel's attack on Kuo, meeting the rest of Kalina's family, and Issei's promotion, and to say that it was eventful was an understatement for him. Kuo Academy. Issei is seen going into his class with Asia, awaiting their homeroom period to begin, until a very familiar face walked into class. Good morning, everyone, I'm Tia Madaris. You can call me Tia Sensei. I'm not one for formalities, but I needed to be at least professional, and I'm your new homeroom and English teacher. I hope that we get along fine. Tiamat introduced herself wearing an appropriate outfit for teaching. The handful of boys in the room rejoiced at an extremely hot blue-haired teacher. It's early Christmas, boys. God, I live this school. I think she's better than Ria's and Akeno-senpai. Motohama, measure her. Mitsuda said. Her 3 sizes far surpassed the great one sans of our school. Motohama said in shock. She really did it, I wonder how she'll do. Issei thought. Issei-san, is that Tiamat? Asia whispered. Yeah, she requested to be a teacher here, to be closer to me, or so she says. Issei answered. Boy, Hyoudou, you seem awfully familiar with Tia-sensei, got a history together? Aika suddenly asked. Nope, she's a stranger to me. Issei lied. Tia-sensei. Aika raised her hand. Yes, Kiryu-san. Tiamat said. What's your relationship with Hyoudou, he seemed familiar to you? Aika asked. Oh, we live together. Tiamat bluntly answered. What? The collective voices of the entire class shouted. Please don't misunderstand, I'm a friend of his mother, and I'm only staying with them until I find a new home. Tiamat defused the situation. I see, thank you sensei. Aika sat down. By the way everyone, open house is in a few days, the school has sent emails to all your parents. Tiamat announced. Wow, she's not doing half bad, am I right Dreg? Issei asked the dragon in him. Yeah, I didn't expect her to blend in so easily despite a rather bright appearance. Drake said in Issei's mind. The class went on as per usual with Tiamat getting on Issei's nerves by subtly posing in erotic ways that only he could notice. Sure enough, Issei made it clear to himself that Tiamat's gonna get a mouthful from him later. Orc Clubroom. Issei and Asia are seen walking towards the Orc Clubroom. Issei was feeling a bit off since he can sense a familiar presence in the room, whilst Asia had a calm demeanor in comparison to Issei. The doors open revealing the wielder of Durandal, Zenobia. Hello Sekiryuite. She spoke. Oh, no wonder, I felt something familiar on the way here. Issei deadpanned. Zenobia sprouted her 2 devil wings surprising Issei. Boo, what made you turn devil? Issei asked. Since God is dead, I was lost as anyone could be, my beliefs were shattered, never to be fixed ever again, so as an act of self-abandonment, I went to Ria's grimoire and asked her to be her servant, receiving a knight's peace. From today onwards, I'm a second-year student and a member of the Occult Research Club. Zenobia explained. Let's get along, Ice-kun. Zenobia said in a cutesy voice while maintaining a straight face. Nice and I'm voice, it's even better because you said it with a straight face. Issei chuckled. Seems like my arena impression needs some work. Zenobia made a mental note. Oh Zenobia, no need to try and be someone else, no one can be you but you. Issei said with a smile. Zenobia's face had a slight blush. Oh okay, thank you Sekiryuite. Zenobia said. Please don't call me that, Issei or Ice is fine, titles can be obnoxious sometimes. Issei deadpanned. Noted. Without God, my life is meaningless. Was it correct of me to join the devils, who were my former enemies? Even if she is the Mayu's little sister, was it worth it? Oh lord, please guide me. Zenobia and the other devils in the room except Issei were hit with a blistering headache. So, Riaz, how do you pull this one off? Issei asked. Didn't she already say why she became one? Riaz deadpanned. Nevertheless, having the current wielder of Durandal is most certainly welcome in my peerage. Riaz proudly stated. When it comes to raiding games, she's another ace Holy weapon wielders in a devil's peerage are a handful. Issei said. Precisely, Ice. Riaz took a sip of her tea. Asia, did you know of this? Issei asked. Yes, she came in here the moment you left for your promotion exam. Asia said. Issei shifted his gaze to Zenobia again. Zenobia, what happened to Arena? Issei asked. Zenobia looked down. Arena went back to the HQ with Valper Galilee's corpse, and the 5 fragments along with mine, the destroyed one, should be restorable with alchemy. Zenobia said in a somber tone. Irina was fortunate enough to miss the battle, she always had a stronger belief than me, so keeping the truth from her was my priority. Zenobia sighed. What hurts the most was when she found out about my reincarnation. It was awkward, to say the least, knowing that we may be at opposite sides the next time the two of us meet. Flashback. Your mission's finally done, Irina. It's sad that it's not an R. I feel the same. Why? Why choose to be reincarnated as a devil? It hurts me to know that the church just let slide as if you were nothing. Traitor. Irina walked off. We may be enemies the next time we cross paths. Zenobia's memory played back in her head. And? If I were to tell her, I can't even imagine what that would do to her mental state. In essence, I'm a dangerous person to be kept around the church, someone who knows what should not have been known, leading to me being labeled as a heretic. Zenobia explained. How do you feel about all of this? Issei asked. I'm still at odds with myself. One side of me is telling me that this was a foolish choice, the other completely agrees with this, but nonetheless, there's no going back, and I'll just have to see how things play out. Zenobia answered. Also, do know Issei, the church contacted the mass, they said that they were rather dissatisfied with the outcome due to the actions of Kakabiel's rogue group. Riaz explained. I see, thanks for telling, Riaz. Issei nodded. You should know this by now, Issei, but according to my sister, Azazel put Kakabiel and Cocytus in a frozen state, never to be able to break free. Riaz added. Whoa, that's certainly news to me, the old fart never told me anything. Issei said. But what's more intriguing is the intervention of the vanishing dragon. Riaz grabbed her chin. Oh, that was Azazel's idea, he doubted that I could take care of the elf-eared bastard, but it ended pretty well, for me at least. Issei said. So, the vanishing dragon works for the Governor General of the Fallen Angels, Zenobia trailed off. I can't say for sure, but the way Azazel worded it when I talked to him implied that she was working for him. Issei explained. Speaking of she, do you find it surprising that the White Dragon Emperor is an empress? Riaz asked. Yeah, it did shock me, smoking hot too. Issei smirked. Gosh, I feel like you're just attracting more women the more you fight, so what do you want with her? Riaz asked. No, I don't intend to start a relationship with her, because she's a complete stranger to me, but for now, she's a good fight. Issei lied through his teeth. So, you more or less see her as a punching bag? Riaz deadpanned. Yes, but maybe something even more, Issei teased. HMPH, I should have expected this. Riaz sighed. Asia Argento. Zenobia spoke up. Yes, Zenobia-san. Asia replied. I should have done it sooner, but I'm sorry. She bowed. I shouldn't have said those things to you, well my judgment was clouded by my own beliefs, as a form of punishment, hit me as much as you want. Zenobia said with a straight face making everyone in the room unsure whether she meant it or not. Zenobia-san, there's no need for you to apologize, I understand that you were only doing your duties, so I see no need for you to ask for forgiveness, besides, even if I am a devil now, I've met new people. People who I will cherish, and I'm happy that I met them, because they made my new life more liberating than what I was taught to believe. Asia smiled. I see. Thank you, Asia Argento, I will be leaving now, there's much to learn about this place. Zenobia walked off. Asia grabbed Zenobia's hand before she could get out. Maybe, I can show you a tour of the place. Asia said. Yes, I'd love that. Zenobia smiled. And Kiba, how about a duel again? Zenobia looked toward Kiba. I won't lose next time. Kiba smiled. Everyone, I'd like to make an announcement. Tomorrow, we're gonna clean the school's pool, please bring your own clothes and whatever it is you want to bring. Riaz said. Riaz clapped her hands together. Now that's cleared off and everyone's here, let's celebrate our new member of the Occult Research Club. Riaz said as Akeno brought out a freshly baked cake. Yes but you? All the members answered. Parade place. Issei, Asia, Kiba, Kaneko Kiryu, Mitsuda and Motohama are seen in a karaoke bar, where Issei is singing his heart out. When the wind is slow and the fire's hot, the vulture waits to see what rots. Oh, how pretty, all the scenery. This is nature's sacrifice, Issei sang. Buo, encore. Mitsuda and Motohama cheered. Geez, you two were right, this was fun, haven't done it in a while. Issei sincerely spoke. Who knew that Hyoudou was a good vocalist? Kiryu commented. I'll be honest, I didn't expect that, Issei-kun. Kiba said. The perverted duo took Issei's place and selected their song. Issei sat beside Asia and casually drank his iced tea with a burger to boot. Suddenly he receives 2 notifications from his phone. Opening his phone, he received 2 pictures from Riaz and Akeno, who were wearing very sexy looking swimsuits. Riaz wore an all-white swimsuit with gold rings, whilst Akeno wore a red and purple set that showed more skin than what Riaz had. Issei's eyes went wide as his perverted side took over for a moment. Aika, being the observant person she is, notices this. Issei Hyoudou has a protrusion between his legs. Aika had an evil-looking smile on her face. If you're so keen on looking at it, come get it, Issei mocked Aika. Kiryu trailed off with a blush. Issei's phone rang, revealing Azazel's number. Sorry guys, I gotta go now, something urgent came up. Kiba, can you take Asia home when you guys are done? Issei asked. Kiba, seeing the serious look on Issei's face, understood what he meant. You got it. He complied. Issei went out of the room, but Kiba followed him outside. Kiba? Issei asked. Issei-kun, I never got the chance to say this to you, but thank you. Kiba said. Don't mention it, I'm sure your comrades would be proud of you if they saw the current you right now. Issei smiled. Yeah, they would be. Kiba had a sad smile. Issei's phone rang, revealing Azazel's number. Yeah? Alright. Issei hung up. Kiba, I leave Asia to you, make sure she gets home safely, I got to go to this ASAP. Issei said in urgency. Kiba, seeing the serious look on Issei's face, immediately complied. You got it. He nodded. Azazel's apartment. Issei approached Azazel's apartment door and knocked. The door opened and revealed Rainer, who was in her home attire. Oh, it's you, dude. Rainer pulled Issei in. What the hell? Issei asked in confusion. Rainer pinned Issei down to the floor, taking off his shirt and revealing his toned body to her. Ooh, so muscular, I like it. Rainer traced her 2 fingers down Issei's body. Azazel, by some divine intervention, stepped in. Rainer, I'd rather you not ravage Issei, after all, I called him in. Azazel crossed his arms. Rainer stood up. Sorry, Dad. Rainer looked down. I know you fell because of lust, but you gotta keep in your pants. So, Issei, the reason I called you in is because I want to play Tekken with you again. Azazel explained. Issei put his shirt back on. That's it. I dumped my friends for a game of Tekken, I thought it was something serious. Issei deadpanned. This is serious, we have a score to settle. Azazel smirked. Alright, let's go. Issei sat down and the two played. Issei and Azazel played for 2 hours with a surprising outcome for Issei at least. Whoa, finally I won. Azazel bellowed. Wow, you finally got me, I most certainly didn't expect this. Issei admitted. You know, I didn't sleep for this moment. Azazel said. Are you okay? Issei deadpanned. I don't need much sleep, I'm used to this. Azazel chuckled. The magic circle that has Albion's insignia appeared and Vali stepped out of it. Hey, Zaz, you called, what are you doing here? Vali saw her rival playing with his adoptive father. He set us up again, didn't he? Issei thought. Hey, Vali, yes I did call you here. Azazel answered. For what exactly? Vali said. Nothing, just want you to figure out how you and your rival here will settle your fights, because I can already see you begging to fight him, and I'm sorry to say this, but when it comes to fighting, you're already beaten. Azazel admitted. Vali was offended by this and glared at Azazel. How can you be so sure? She scoffed. I mean, the first battle. Wasn't it enough? Azazel deadpanned. No. You, Issei Hyoudou, fight me. Vali yelled. Sure. Issei stood up. Vali flared out her aura and Issei responded by letting out his own. It was a stalemate at first, but Issei let out more than he would like to and soon dominated Vali's aura. The clash of auras was felt by both Rainer and Azazel, but what Azazel found strange is that both of their auras aren't colliding, they were intertwining, though Issei's aura is dominant. Azazel sighed. See Vali? It's like you don't even want to fight him. Azazel explained. What makes you say that? Vali asked. Just ask both of your dragons. Azazel said. Reg. Albion. The 2 dragon emperors asked their dragons. Unfortunately for you, or fortunately, both your auras intertwined together, much like your twin swords. Partner, you two have good chemistry, not the best, but it's something that can be worked on, which could only mean one thing. Drake explained. No, please no. Albion said in a panic. What is it, Albion? Vali asked. Damn it. You two are mates. Albion said in a disappointed tone. What? How? Vali exclaimed. Great. Issei sarcastically said. Your turn, Red One. Albion deadpanned. To put it simply, the White One's host holds deep feelings for you, partner, and you as well, you might not realize it, but it's somewhere in you. Drake explained. Yay. Congrats to the married couple. Azazel held his drink high. Hold the phone. Vali exclaimed. Come on you two, your dragons even said it, you two have a high affinity for each other, Azazel said amused. Vali had a beet red face at this point. Whatever, I'll only accept him if he beats me in a fight again. Vali declared. Issei, your verdict? Azazel asked. Sure, I can fight. Issei said amused. You won't stand a chance against me this time. Vali boldly said. Boo, what makes you say that? Issei said. Hide me to find out. Vali challenged. Lem guess, you gave part of your body to Albion in exchange for more power. Issei deadpanned. What? How? Vali exclaimed. I'm half dragon, dipshit, I know a dragon when I sense one, so Albion, what did she give up? Issei asked. She gave most of her upper body to me. Albion answered truthfully. Albion? You're not supposed to tell them. Vali said. I'm sorry Vali, but I'm sure that Drake can already smell the dragon in you, since he's the one who started the whole giving up your body for more power. Albion said. And I take great pride in it. Drake huffed inside the sacred gear. So, trying to even out the playing field. This should be good. Issei said amused. Azazel and Raynor were laughing their asses off with the two dragon emperors' banter. So? Are you two fighting it out or not? Azazel said. Yes. Vali and Issei said in unison. Alright then, to the Grigori it is. This should be interesting. Azazel grabbed his chin. Grigori. Issei along with Vali, Azazel, and Raynor teleported directly in front of the Grigori, and the group was presented with a rundown 3-story mansion. This place looks a little underwhelming. Issei remarked. Let's just go in. Azazel led the group. They entered the building, and Issei was surprised to see that the interior was a modern-looking workplace, complete with a reception desk and multiple floors. Oh, it's Azazel, what brings you here? A voice called out. Hey, Shemhazai, we're here to see the twin heavenly dragons fight. Nero pointed at Issei and Vali. Shemhazai has the appearance of a young man in his 20s, with silver white hair and purple eyes. He wears a purple beret, a purple trench coat over a black vest, white slacks, and black boots. Shemhazai gave Azazel a toothy grin. This should be good. Shemhazai said. Oh, Vali-chan is here. A feminine voice called out. Oh no. Vali deadpanned. Oh no, what? Issei asked. Hello Lavinia. Vali waved awkwardly. Ah, princess, how have you been? Albion greeted. Lavinia Rinai is a beautiful woman with a buxom figure, long blonde hair, and sapphire blue eyes. Her attire consists of a white magician's robe, blue inner top, and blue stockings, topped off with her blue witch hat. I've been better, but same nonetheless. Lavinia smiled. She noticed an Issei who's staring at her the whole time. Alright, who's that? She pointed at Issei. Lavinia, Shemhazai, I introduce to you both Vali's rival and love interest, the Red Dragon Emperor, Issei Hyoudou. Azazel proudly announced, surprising Lavinia and Shemhazai. Sparta. Both exclaimed. So, you're the kid that Azazel's been telling me about, bastard left out the part where you're Sparta's descendant. Shemhazai deadpanned. Lavinia ran up and embraced Issei. Oh, aren't you just a cutie, Lavinia said. Pleasure to meet you both Lavinia-san, Shemhazai-san. Issei said with a muffled voice. Lavinia, get away from him, he's mine. Wait damn it. Vali said in a frustrated tone. Albion, when did Vali-chan start to act like this? Lavinia asked. Ever since we took a loss, courtesy of Drake and his host. Albion deadpanned. I see, well then if he's yours, then I'm sure that you won't mind sharing him. Lavinia teased. We can discuss that later, Ice and I still have to fight. Vali said with a flustered face. Could you let go of me, Lavinia-san? You're kinda squeezing the life out of me. Issei barely blurted out. Oh, I'm sorry, pardon my mannerism. Lavinia let go of Issei. It's fine. Issei said. The group made their way to the training grounds of the Grigori, which was a colosseum that was repurposed with training equipment and a lot of machines that assist in said training. Everyone involved made a barrier to make sure that the aura the two emperors will exude won't leak out and attract unwanted attention from the other factions. Issei and Vali along with Azazel in between them took their positions across each other at a considerable distance. The rest were observing what was about to unfold. Alright, I want a nice clean fight, there are no rules, go crazy, but if one of you is unable to fight, it's over. Azazel announced. You got it. No objections. Both Vali and Issei said. Begin. Azazel yelled. Vanishing Dragon, Balance Breaker. Albion announced as the energy wings deployed from Vali's back. Issei opted not to use his balance breaker, irritating Vali at a rival's antics. Hey. You should be taking this more seriously. Vali yelled. Come on, I want to test the limits of my base form. Issei shrugged. It's your funeral. Vali dashed in. Issei stepped back, barely avoiding contact with Vali. He summoned Severance and fired condensed energy waves at Vali, the latter dodging easily. Issei pulled out his twin pistols and fired a charge barrage at Vali, doing little to no damage to her armor. Vali, seeing her rival's attempt at damaging her, decided to taunt the boy. And you should, huh? Figures. Use your balance breaker, my rival. Vali mocked. Alright, you asked for it. Issei summoned the boosted gear. Welsh Dragon, balance breaker. Drag announced. Issei's donned his armor, and his power exploded way beyond what the others expected from him. Interesting, his balance breaker looks different than the past hosts of Drag. Azazel noted. What do you mean, Azazel? Lavinia asked. To put it shortly, think of Vali's armor as red with green jewels and looks more like a brawler, but in Issei's case, he's completely changed the Welsh Dragon's armor, it's got more natural looking draconic features. Azazel explained. The two emperors fought on for a while with neither touching one another. Vali played the aggressor, while Issei fought with a defensive tactic in mind. Vali fired a barrage of magic attacks and flew along with them towards Issei, who was preoccupied with dodging and deflecting the orbs with Severance and Royal Guard. Vali saw the opening she wanted, she threw a haymaker punch that Issei noticed but was too late, she hit him square on the head, cracking the helmet, surprising Issei. Finally. Albion if you would. Vali said proudly. Divide 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 divide. Albion drained Issei of his strength. Vali, seeing her rival's weakened state, dashed in and prepared to hit Issei, but he tricked just in time to avoid getting hit again. Damn it, she got me. Issei scowled. Yeah, she got you good, never expected that Albion's host would use a diversion to hit you. Drake said. Yeah, but it's time we take it up a notch. Issei grinned. Boost 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 boost. Drake announced as Issei's power grew stronger and Severance's center split open, revealing its glowing core. Careful, Vali, he's taking you seriously now. Well, you may divide his power, he can boost it back up, so use them on a calculated assault. Albion said. I know, I can't beat this guy with brute force. Vali admitted. Issei charged in with Severance in hand and swords formation active. He tricked behind Valis and hit her with a flurry of slashes that were amplified with the extra swords that followed with each attack. Issei then fired a quick rocket shot from Kalina Ann and sent Vali higher in the air. Don't be mad at me for this, Vali. Issei teleported in front of Vali and pulled out Divine Orion. Ka. What do you mean? Vali exclaimed. Impossible, Albion said, sensing his own power. Bang. Divide. Drake announced as the buckshot hit Vali, cracking her chest piece. What? How the hell do you have Albion's power? Vali said as her strength left her. Issei pulled equipped Cavalier. Less talking, more fighting. Issei hit Vali with the giant buzzsaws and transformed it into its motorcycle form and shredded Vali's armor completely. Issei ended the fight with an axe kick that shook the arena. All the spectators of the fight went wide-eyed with what just happened, the Red Dragon Emperor having his rival's power, surely something they didn't see coming. Issei, mind explaining how you have Albion's power? Azazel asked in a slightly panicked voice. Bdraig. Explain how your host got my power. Albion asked in an angered tone. Partner. Drake spoke to his host. Alright, after our first fight in Kuo, one of your jewels fell and was in perfect condition. Then my mother and I went to her old home and met the gunsmith that built most of their guns. She worked mostly on magic, and I had her implement the jewel in my shotgun, granting it the divine dividing powers of your sacred gear. Issei explained. How? What sort of mind do you have to think that you'd get my power from a single jewel of the armor? Albion vented. I didn't think that it would work too, even I was surprised when it actually worked, thanks to Naiko-san at least. Issei said. It's about the craftsman, partner, your father did work with her, and she created those mind-bogglingly powerful gauntlets for Nero. Drake said. Who's this Nero guy? Azazel asked. Virgil's son. Issei answered. The Dark Slayer had a son, Azazel asked in shock. Yeah, he's still an active devil hunter. Issei said. So how many descendants of Sparta are there? Azazel asked again. 3, counting me. Issei answered. One faction for each of you. Azazel chuckled. Not really, I decided to join the devils, but my mother and Nero act on their own, mostly mercs for hire. Issei said. Hey. That wasn't fair. Vali said in a frustrated tone. What wasn't fair? Issei fired back. You, having Albion's power. Vali glared at Issei. Not my problem, one of your jewels fell, plus getting its power was a gamble on my part. Issei shrugged. He's essentially a warrior with no weaknesses, all aspects of combat are within his reach. Lavinia noted. Issei, right. Do you have any other abilities? Lavinia asked with Issei nodding. Yes, most of them only enhance my swords, guns, and mobility. Though there's 3 that stand out to me. Issei said. Which are? Lavinia said. Royal Guard is a defensive style that essentially deflects all incoming attacks, but I must time the block right and can reflect it with even more force. Doppelganger makes a clone of me with full autonomy. Lastly, Quicksilver, time control, though this style drains me a lot. Issei explained. Did you use any of them during your fight with Vali? Lavinia asked. Only Royal Guard, the barrage from earlier was quite annoying. Issei shrugged. You were holding back on me, Vali furiously asked. Yeah, wouldn't want to see your pretty face dead. Issei said, making his rival blush. SS shut it. I don't want to hear that from you. Vali stuttered. But your face says otherwise. Issei said, seeing his rival's flustered face. Lavinia sported a mischievous grin. If you don't make moves on him, Vali, then I will. Lavinia said as she darted to Issei, pressing her breasts on his arm. LL Lavinia-san, Issei said. Why you devils have those peerages, don't you? Lavinia asked. Why yeah? Issei asked. Can I join you, if you have one? Lavinia asked. Only if you really want to. Issei hesitantly said. Of course, I want to. Living a near eternal life with you is one of the best things I could wish for. Guys like you are the definition of one in a million. Lavinia slyly said. Hey Azazel, she works for you, right? What's your verdict here? Issei glanced at Azazel with desperation in his eyes. I'm fine with it, as long as she completes her latest mission from me. Azazel shrugged. Which is? Issei asked. To check out a certain demon, King Cerberus to be specific. Azazel said, piquing Issei's interest. What do you need from it? Issei asked. I need a sample of it. I know that there's Cerberus of the Greek underworld, but King Cerberus is a subspecies of it that has control over 3 elements, at least that's what I thought of when I first encountered it in the Himalayas. Azazel explained. Can I come along with Lavinia-san? I'm looking for it as well. Issei said. Lem guess, it's gonna be your next weapon. Azazel deadpanned. Yeah, it was once wielded by all Grandpa Dante. Issei said. Sure you and Lavinia can go, just make sure you give a sample. Azazel said. You got it. Issei nodded. Thanks Azazel. Lavinia said. Are you really fine with this, Lavinia-san? Once I reincarnate you, there's no turning back. Issei said in a cautious tone. Positive? Lavinia smiled. Alright, I can sense that you have a powerful sacred gear with you, so it's a win-win for both of us. Issei pulled out his evil pieces box. Issei pulled out a rook piece and glanced at Lavinia again. Lavinia-san, are you really sure? I can't stress it enough that you'll give up part of your humanity, for life. Issei warned. Lavinia strengthened her resolve and answered. Yes, Issei, I may leave my team behind after the mission, but knowing you more and the thrill of a blossoming relationship with you is something I want to see. Lavinia smiled. Issei, hearing this, was satisfied with the magician's answer. Alright, let's begin. Issei began the reincarnation ritual. In the name of Issei Sparta, I command thee, Lavinia Renai, give your soul to me and become my rook and embodiment of absolute defense. Issei chanted as the rook piece was absorbed by Lavinia, making her part devil. There you go, I made you a rook since you already have immense magic power. Its defensive properties will allow to focus on improving your magical powers in the long run. Issei explained. Solid logic there, my sacred gear was sort of a defensive-offensive type, this surely will help it a lot. Lavinia said. Welcome to the family, and your partner in crime for being my rook is Tiamat, you have to meet her soon. Issei said. Will do. Lavinia smiled. If that's all, I'll be taking my leave, Lavinia, I'll fetch you here tomorrow in the evening for the mission. Issei said as he teleported out. You really did it, huh? Vali said. Yeah, come on Vali-chan, I find him very attractive, why didn't you make a move on him? Lavinia teased. I don't know, something tells me that it's too soon, but I am jealous of you getting close to him that fast. Vali whispered but was heard by everyone. Welp, that's another notch on Issei's belt, the damn boy is gonna be the Casanova of Casanovas. Azazel said amused. What do you mean by that? Lavinia asked. You are the luckiest amongst Vali, Rainer, Kuroka, and you, they want to say too, but Vali is being a lazy head, that battle maniac persona of hers has got to go, well at least Issei somehow contained it when they first met. Azazel vented like a frustrated parent. Who am I now? Too bad Vali-chan, looks like I beat you on this one, he. Lavinia teased. Don't be complacent now, you all have competition. Azazel said amused. Hi to residents, midnight. Issei is seen just in front of his home's door, went inside and was surprised that Kalina wasn't there to scold him, but he did see a drowsy Tiamat who is seated on the steps of the stairs, seemingly awaiting his arrival. Tiamat, feeling her master's presence, was immediately woken up. Issei, what took you so long? Tiamat asked. I went to Azazel and fought my rival again. Issei pecked Tiamat on the lip, surprising the dragon. And I found us a new member for the peerage. Issei said. Which is? Tiamat asked. Lavinia Renai, a sacred gear user. I don't know her sacred gear yet, but she's a powerful magician, and she's your sister Rook, and we'll be going after King Cerberus with her tomorrow. Issei said. Oh, how delightful, but the mission can come later, I've been waiting all night for you, you know. Tiamat said with half-lidded eyes. Alright. Issei and Tiamat went up the stairs. Issei did his nightly duties and went to bed where naked Asia and Riaz are seen sound asleep. The two dragons moved the devils and cuddled each other to sleep, with Riaz and Asia soon getting tangled up with them. Guo Academy, swimming pool. The whole of the orc is seen and observing the dirty pool. Ugh, this looks like it hasn't been cleaned in years. Issei remarked. I agree, the water doesn't even look like water, it's straight up a swamp. Riaz groaned. Why are we cleaning it? Zenobia asked. It was supposed to be the student council's duty, but I requested that our club took over for the rest of the year. Plus, when we're done cleaning it, we have the whole pool for ourselves. Riaz happily said. Welp, that's what we're here for, and the sooner we're done, the better. Issei drained the pool. The whole club scrubbed down the inside of the pool until it was squeaky clean, and all of them changed into their swimsuits. Boys' locker room. Hey, Issei-kun. Kiba called out. Yeah, what is it? Issei answered. Just wanted to get this out. Always know that I'll always protect you, even if the odds are against me. Kiba said. You do know that I can take care of myself, and that's pretty weird coming from a guy. Issei deadpanned. I know, but I just want you to know that as a knight of the House of Gremory, I will always have your back. Kiba said with his hand on his chest. That's good to know, thanks Kiba. Issei brofisted Kiba. Everyone came out of the changing rooms except for Zenobia, who for some reason is taking way too long to put on a swimsuit. Riaz and Akeno wore the swimsuits they bought from the mall, Asia and Kaneko wore the school's swimsuit, Kiba wore black speedos, and Issei wore red surf trunks with Drake's insignia on one side and Sparta's insignia on the other. Nice touch partner, how do you even make these? Drake asked in Issei's mind. Well, I just use magic. Issei replied. Figures anyway, enjoy this day for yourself, it's rare to make time like this. Drake replied and cut off the mental link. The group looked over the job they had done to the clean-looking pool and was thoroughly impressed with themselves. Wow, now that I look at it more, the better I feel from actually cleaning it with manual labor. Issei commented. You said it. Kaneko spoke in her monotone voice. Akeno filled up the pool using water magic. Alright, it's all ours now. Riaz said aloud. Oh, and Ice, how do you like my swimsuit? Riaz posed seductively. Love it, it's a nice contrast from your crimson hair. Issei huffed with a thumbs up. Someone's been eager to show Ice-kun her swimsuit, yufufufu. Akeno walked up beside Riaz. And you? Riaz retorted. Shouldn't that be obvious? Akeno giggled. Issei-san, how do I look? Asia sheepishly asked. You look amazing, Asia. Issei smiled and patted Asia's head. Issei noticed Kaneko trying to hide her figure, but was subtly showing her bits to Issei. Don't worry Kaneko, you look great too, you really live up to your name of being the school's mascot. Issei chuckled. I don't know whether I should be shy or happy with that. Kaneko said. Where is Zenobia? Issei noticed. Oh, she's having some trouble putting on her swimsuit. Asia answered. Ice, can you do me a favor? Riaz said. Sure, what is it? Issei answered. Can you teach Kaneko how to swim? Riaz requested. Yeah, I can do that. Issei. Issei and Kaneko hopped on the pool where Issei assisted Kaneko with her flutter kicks and reached the end of the pool and hit the wall. Oops, that was my bad. Issei said. Issei-senpai. Kaneko spoke. Yeah? Issei said. Despite being a pervert and a douche, you're kind and honest. Kaneko sheepishly said. Thank you, Kaneko-chan, I did choose to be a douche and a pervert, but my kindness is something I built up myself, and with a certain someone wishing for me to be like this, I knew that I can't disappoint him. Issei said with a sad smile. Kaneko noticed the look on Issei's face. I see, I sure hope to see the better side of you more. Kaneko smiled, surprising Issei. We'll see. Issei said amused. Kaneko-chan, my turn. Asia said with teary eyes. Fine. Kaneko pouted. Issei taught Asia how to swim until she and Kaneko ran out of steam and fell asleep on one of the mats laid out on a nearby shade. Ice, come here please. Riaz gestured. Yeah? Issei spoke. Can you put sunblock on my back? Riaz asked as she lay prone on a mat. Alright. Issei complied and applied sunblock on Riaz. Can you do my chest too? Riaz asked again. Sure, turn around. Issei said with Riaz complying. Issei rubbed Riaz's chest and strangely enough, Riaz was lightly moaning as Issei played with her breast. We can't be doing this here. Riaz pleaded. Why not? Issei needed Riaz's breasts more. Because Riaz was cut off. Issei-kun, can you do me as well? Akeno asked seductively. I can, but how am I gonna do the two of you at the same time? Issei pondered. Oh yeah. Doppelganger Issei chanted. Issei manifested a one-to-one clone of himself with full autonomy. Rias and Akeno went wide-eyed as they were presented with another Issei. "Sup boss, what do you got for me?" The clone greeted Issei. "Fully functioning already, nice." Issei remarked. "I am you, so I should be able to do what you want me to, so anything." The clone said amused. "Rub some sunscreen on Akeno-san there." Issei pointed at the prone Akeno. "Ara, such a shame I couldn't get the real ice-kun." Akeno pouted. Don't worry, you'll get the real deal SOON," Issei said seductively, flustering Akeno. "Ice-kun, if you tease me like that, Kaya." Akeno was surprised by the sensation on her back. "Like it?" the clone asked. Why yes, please do it more." Akeno said, barely containing a moan. The clone complied and sensually applied the sunblock on Akeno, whilst the real Issei continued his handiwork on Rias. Enough, we're in a public place," Rias said with a blush while Issei groped her. "Alright, though you were enjoying it," Issei said, pecking Rias on the lips. "Why yeah," Rias sheepishly said. "That was amazing ice-kun, shame I couldn't get you." "Oh, I know." An idea popped up in Akeno's head. "What?" Issei asked. "Since you're a high class and have a peerage already, anyone with your flyer can request anything from you," Akeno proposed. "Great thinking, Akeno," Rias excitedly said. "Yeah, but we're only 3, Tiamat is a teacher and is most likely busy, while Lavinia and I will go on a mission later on," Issei said, catching Rias and Akeno's attention. "Lavinia?" Rias asked. "My new rook, both Tia and her are my rooks, she's a magician, with a sacred gear, though I've yet to know what her sacred gear is," Issei answered. "I see, but you need those flyers, it's a requirement to do devil work these days," Rias explained. "I guess so, how do I even create those flyers?" Issei asked. "Magic," Rias and Akeno answered in unison. "I see, so I just focus my energy on some piece of paper and it'll create a flyer?" Issei asked. "Yep, and it'll be much easier if you have a familiar to spread it around for you," Rias said. "Welp, I don't have a familiar, so I'm pretty screwed," Issei deadpanned. "Oh, I'm sure the familiar master can find for you," Rias said. "The better, anyway I'll try making my flyers then." Issei walked off. "Sekurite?" Zenobia spoke, surprising Issei. "What?" Issei asked. "How do I look?" "I've never worn a swimsuit before, so it's a first for me," Zenobia bashfully said. "Looks good for a first-timer, that's a little too revealing, don't you think?" Issei said awkwardly. "It won't matter, because I have a request for you," Zenobia answered. "And that is?" Issei followed up. "Make babies with me," Zenobia bluntly said. Babies, what do you mean babies? This isn't something you can blurt out all of a sudden," Issei exclaimed. "I know, but ever since my reincarnation, I've thought about it and prepared myself for this, and devils are creatures of desire, so this is what I desire." "You," Zenobia said. Zenobia pushed Issei down and mounted him. "I don't have any experience with men, so I'll let you take the lead." Zenobia took off her top. "Zenobia, listen," Issei pleaded. "It's alright, I'll take care of the child myself if I have to," Zenobia stubbornly said. Issei pushed Zenobia up and he himself raised himself up to eye level with the former exorcist. Issei looked Zenobia directly in the eyes and spoke. "Zenobia, this isn't something you do out of the blue, things like this require time and patience, and don't you dare take the term family lightly like that, it's something you need to cherish, whether it be by blood or anyone who you deem as your family, and soon enough you'll build your own," Issei said, dampening Zenobia. Zenobia finally had a grasp of herself. I see, thank you Sekurite, I wasn't myself back there," Zenobia hesitantly spoke. "It's alright, and since you said that you wanted me, you can start by dropping the titles, Issei or Ice is fine," Issei said. "Alright, Ice." Zenobia smiled. The orc went back to their club room and took their well-deserved rest in the room until a silver grimoire magic circle came manifested on the floor, revealing Serena Lucifer, who's wearing a black business suit, and Graphia. "Hello Rias." Serena greeted as the devils bowed in respect except for Issei, Asia, and Zenobia. "Owani-sama." Rias spoke in a surprised tone. "Please, relax, I'm here on private matters." Serena waved her hand as the other devils complied. "And hello Sekurite." Serena glanced at Issei. "Sup?" Issei waved his hand nonchalantly. "Owani-sama, why are you here?" Rias asked. "What do you mean? Open house is coming soon, right? I'd never miss the chance to see my dear little sister in action with her studies, plus father will be attending as well." Serena cupped her cheek. "Graphia, you told her, didn't you?" "Yes, I did." Graphia had a mischievous smile on her face. "Aren't you a Mayu? You should have a ton of paperwork and have little to no free time." Rias facepalmed. I do, but it's open house, there's absolutely no way I'd miss it. Serena answered. But you can't just leave your work like this. Ria said, avoiding eye contact with her sister. Oh, but this counts as work as well. Serena happily said. How so? Ria said in a confused tone. I'm thinking of holding the conference of the 3 factions in this school. I came today to inspect the place. Serena answered. Here? Why? Riaz exclaimed. This place became a gathering place for powerful individuals, that includes you, Sona Citri, the wielder of the holy demonic sword, Durandal, the hacker Yuaku and Kakabiel, who attacked this place. You can't simply call this a coincidence, power attracts power, and the main attraction of it all is Issei Hyoudou, this generation's Sekiryuite. Serena explained. How come? Riaz asked. It should be pretty obvious, he is a legitimate once-in-a-generation talent, born with massive power to a once-thought extinct family, and to top it all off, a Longinus-class sacred gear. Serena said with Riaz nodding in agreement. Oh, and Issei-kun, I'll be needing your attendance in the conference along with Riaz, Sona and their peerages and yours, since you 3 were a part of the event. Serena explained. Alright, I'll be there. Issei answered. So, Ria-tan, I heard that you moved out. Where exactly though? Serena pried. Riaz blushed, thinking that she and Issei will be reprimanded. I live with Ice, currently. Riaz bashfully said. Perfect. I'll take the opportunity to meet his parents. You won't mind, would you? Issei-kun. Serena asked. I don't mind, Mom could use some company. Issei smiled. Good. Serena said. But you'll have to wait, I still have a puppy to claim. Issei said. And who or what might that be? Serena asked curiously. You'll see it soon. Issei said as he teleported out. Man, he likes leaving things vaguely, doesn't he? Serena said. I agree, Wani-sama, but we'll have to wait here for the meantime until he arrives. Riaz nodded. While we wait for him, why don't you introduce me to your new peerage members? Serena spoke. Riaz gave Asia and Zenobia a nod. I'm Asia Argento, it's a pleasure to meet you. Asia bowed. You must be her new bishop, I look forward to see you grow as a healer for my sister. Serena smiled. Are you the Mayu? I'm Zenobia Quarta, nice to meet you. Zenobia introduced herself. A pleasure to meet you, Zenobia, I am Serena Lucifer. When I heard that my sister had acquired the wielder of Durandal as her second knight, I couldn't believe my ears. Now that you're here, I certainly do believe it now. Serena giggled. I also did not expect to become a devil. Even if I say so myself, I sometimes regret being reborn into the side I continued fighting since it was a risky move. That's it. Why did I turn into a devil? Was it desperation? But to be honest, everything was alright at the time. But was it truly okay to turn into a devil? Zenobia hesitantly spoke. Serena laughed. It's great to know that my sister has so many interesting people in her peerage. I understand that you need time to adjust to your new life as a devil, but I want you to support the Gremory House as a part of Ria's family. I'll be counting on you, since I can only do so little for her. Serena smiled. If a legendary Mayu from the Bible asks me to do it, I'll have no choice but to do it. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to accomplish, but please allow me to do everything I can within my abilities. Zenobia said. Grigori, evening. Issei teleported to the Grigori where he is met with Lavinia and Azazel. Just in time, Issei. Azazel greeted. Yeah, we had to clean the pool and chill out for a bit. Issei said. I hope you rested because we still have a mission to do. Lavinia pecked Issei on the cheek. Issei was visibly flustered by Lavinia's antics. Why yeah, oh, I almost forgot, you need to meet Tiamat. Issei summoned a communication circle. Yes Issei? Tiamat asked through the circle. Tia, I need you with me, now, we're going to King Cerberus. Issei requested. A few moments passed and a light blue Sparta magic circle appeared and Tiamat appeared in her usual outfit. Tiamat was surprised to see Azazel and Lavinia and glanced over to Issei. Tia, I introduce to you, Lavinia Rinai, your sister Rook. Issei said. Wow. The Dragon King Tiamat, it's a pleasure to meet you. Lavinia said in awe. The pleasure is all mine, Lavinia, I hope that we get along well. Tiamat smiled. I still can't believe that you have the strongest Dragon King in your peerage, by the way, use this to collect samples safely. Azazel commented and gave Issei a clear magic sphere. Well, here she is now. Anyway, Tia, Lavinia we set off now. Issei prepared a teleportation circle. Alright. Tiamat replied. Let's go. Lavinia latched onto Issei's arm much to Tiamat's dismay. Don't forget my samples. Azazel said as the trio disappeared. Shemha's eye walked up to Azazel. So that was Tiamat. Issei Sparta Hyoudou, watching you grow strong will be a blast to see. Shemha's eye remarked. You bet. Azazel said. The Himalayas. Issei along with Lavinia and Tiamat are seen walking towards a massive cave with a barrier that prevented them from freezing to death, where they felt a strong signature coming from deep within the cave itself. They followed the power signature to freefall into the deepest part of the cave. After landing they were met with a gigantic three-headed dog. The massive canine has dark skin, demonic features, a large upper body, and a huge piece of metal sticking out its back, signifying that it was once in captivity. What was most intriguing about it was its three heads. The left head looked as if it had lava flowing inside of it, the middle was brittle and frozen looking, and the right was crackling with its lightning. King Cerberus noticed the three presences that entered their domain. Most familiar, this presence. The icy head spoke as they got up from their slumber. Does the name Dante ring a name to you? Issei spoke to the creature. Yes, he was a fine warrior that we foolishly underestimated. We were once a proud beast, until Dante put us in our place and claimed us as his devil arm, though in my time as his weapon, I have matured and grown to understand power from his perspective. King Cerberus calmly said. I am right to assume that you are his descendant, but humor me this, are you here to claim me as your weapon? King Cerberus asked. Yes, I am. Issei answered. Then a simple test of strength will not bother you? They spoke. I'm all for it, I sort of expected this. Issei summoned Severance. Let us begin. King Cerberus said as the fire had powered up. It released a powerful blast of energy that made the entire room rise to an abnormally high temperature. It forced Lavinia and Tiamat to cast a barrier on themselves. Alright. Issei charged in. Issei knew that using his ranged weapons would be most effective at dealing damage to King Cerberus, but he wanted to test the waters and see how far he can go with his melee weapons. He dashed to the firehead and did an aerial assault that didn't last long. He unfurled his wings and flew up to the highest part of the space and nose-dived to the creature where he switched over to Cavalier and bashed down on the active head. In a surprising twist the canine cast a flame spell on the rocks on the ceiling, causing them to burn like hot lava droplets that dealt slight damage to Issei, but he definitely felt it sting. TCH, that burns. Issei said putting out the flames on his clothes. Light-hearted, very much like him. The firehead remarked. Your flesh will freeze. The ice head bellowed as the surrounding area was frozen from the blast of energy and formed ice slabs. Ah, that's nice, it was getting hot in here. Issei said in relief. King Cerberus fired an ice wave that almost hit Issei, but the following wave exploded into ice splinters hitting Issei again. Issei performed 5 boosts and equipped Cavalier in its motorcycle form and beelined towards the giant three-headed dog. He jumped up and quite literally shredded its back, using his strong grip to grab onto the metal spike on the beast's back and made a full 180 and ran on its back again, lacerating its back. King Cerberus was down for the count until it activated its lightning mode. Feel my thunder. The lightning had activated and immediately summoned a barrage of lightning balls, to which Issei dodged with relative ease. Issei equipped Kalina An and 2 and fired a rocket barrage in the air, heavily damaging and weakening the beast. How's that? Issei asked the downed beast. We? Yield, you have proven your worth. King Cerberus said. Alright. Before you transform into a weapon, do you mind if you give us a few samples? It's a request from a mad scientist. Issei said. Very well. King Cerberus replied as they got up. Issei presented the magic sphere to King Cerberus, where they focused their magic on it, making it light up with an orange, light blue, and purple hue in 3 equal parts of the sphere. Is that all? King Cerberus said. Yes. Issei said as King Cerberus started to glow again. The light died down, and Issei along with his 2 rooks, was presented with a 3-section nunchaku that was held with an icy mist and a ring. Its prongs had a metal base with serrated ice formations on its end. Issei grabbed it and performed ice-based nunchaku attacks, fire-enhanced attacks in its bow staff form, and lightning-ranged attacks in its anji-gun form. Cool. Lavinia said with stars in her eyes. Most impressive, Issei. Tiamat proudly said. Yeah, this one's very light to wield, anyway, let's go back to the Grigori. Issei prepared a teleportation circle. Grigori, nighttime. Issei, Tiamat, and Lavinia are seen teleporting directly into the Grigori's lobby, where Azazel was waiting for them. Oh, that was quick. Azazel said. Yeah, King Cerberus was more chill than what my mother has told me about it, so getting it was easier than I had expected. Issei explained. Did you get the samples though? Azazel raised an eyebrow. Yeah, here you go. Issei handed the sphere over to Azazel. Azazel inspected the sphere and was surprised to see the 3 elemental powers flow together, instead of conflicting with each other. Fascinating, I need a closer look at this in my lab. Oh, and you and Lavinia are free to go. Azazel walked off. Alright, ladies, shall we? Issei said. I'll stay here for now, Issei. Lavinia said. Alright, our house was full, to begin with. Issei sheepishly said. I do wonder when I get to move in with you. Lavinia pondered. Soon enough. Issei said as he and Tiamat teleported out. Or clubroom. We're back. Issei announced as he and Tiamat came out of the teleportation circle. How was the mission? Riaz asked. Went well, now let's go back home, I'm starving. Issei rubbed his belly. Issei brought Serena and Grafia along with them to their home where Kalina waited for them and was caught by surprise by the Mayu's sudden visit. Oh my, I didn't expect the Mayu to visit. Kalina said as she and Kalina sat across each other. You must be Issei-kun's mother, my name is Serena Lucifer, it's a pleasure to meet you. Serena introduced herself. Likewise, I'm Kalina Sparta Hyoudou. Kalina said. I wonder why you still adopt the Hyoudou surname. Serena asked. Oh, Issei and I leave it there in memory of my husband and for legal reasons of course. Kalina explained. Oh, I see, please forgive my rudeness, I won't pry any further with your family. Serena bowed. It's fine, you can ask anything really, I'm alright with it. Kalina shrugged. Serena was delighted to have received the green light from Kalina and immediately wanted to ask an oddly specific question. Very well then, would you answer this question of mine? Did you truly mate with a dragon, a heavenly class one at that? Serena dropped an absolute bombshell of a question. Kalina sighed. Yes, it's a long story, but yes, I did mate with a dragon, making that idiot over there. Kalina pointed at Issei much to Kalina and Grafia's amusement. I see, one last question, how has my sister been during her stay here? Serena asked making Riaz look away in embarrassment. Oh, she's been a nice girl, always helping with chores and looking after the house well when we left for a family visit. Kalina smiled. I see, it's good to know she hasn't been a bother to you, Ms. Kalina, she can act a little spoiled at times. Serena lightly chuckled. By the way, are you attending open house in their school? Kalina asked. Yes, I am, I've taken a break from work and I'm taking this opportunity to my little sister and how she does in school. Our father is attending as well since he helped establish the school, but I more so see this as him taking a chance to see Riaz. Serena answered. Issei was in the corner of the living room where he watched the scene and was visibly happy that his mother was revealing her more motherly side again ever since his transformation took place, but in a not so normal way. What do you mean I can't sleep with him tonight? Riaz pouted. I want to talk to him, so could you please lend him to me for one night? Serena said as she placed a futon down. Issei walked up to Riaz and spoke. I'll be fine Riaz, it's just one night, it's gonna be alright. Issei kissed Riaz on the forehead. Grafia and Serena only smiled at the scene, seeing at how close Riaz and Issei were to each other. Oju-sama, it's time to sleep, let's go back to your room. Grafia left with Riaz. Good night, Issei-san, it's unfortunate, but I'll sleep in my room tonight. Asia said as she left too. Issei and Serena laid down on their respective beds, and before they could sleep, Serena had something in mind. Issei-kun, I heard that you worked with Azazel. Serena asked. Yes, I did, but he only hired me as a gunman to take down Kakabiel. Issei answered truthfully. I see, did he hire you for more? Serena followed up. Nothing after that, I only worked with him again because we shared the same target, that being King Cerberus. He wanted samples of its power, well I wanted it to be my newest devil arm and lead to me getting my second peerage member. Issei summarized. I see, did he take interest in your sacred gear? Serena asked. Yes, according to him I've changed the boosted gear, even Drake found it surprising when the balance breaker form also changed drastically. Issei explained. He was known to collect sacred gears and him taking interest in you is no surprise. Serena said. Yeah, and he's a good drinking buddy as well. Issei said and yawned. Looks like you're tired, we'll continue this another time, good night, Issei-kun. Serena seemingly does off to sleep. It was past midnight and Issei couldn't fall asleep, the sheer pressure of sleeping with the leader of all devils definitely pressed onto the tension he was feeling. Issei sensing that Serena herself wasn't asleep struck a conversation. Hey, I'm sorry if you're forced to sleep on a futon. Issei quietly said. Oh, it's alright, I actually like it. Serena answered. How come? Issei pondered. Being a Mayu, nearly every place I've visited always gave me the most extravagant of things, but being treated as a normal guest puts things into perspective for me, and I am loving it. Serena said turning to face Issei. Tell me, Issei-kun, do you really love my sister? Serena asked. Yes, I do, even before turning into this, I've always admired her, always wondering how someone like me can be with her, a pervert, a failure, an enemy of all women, but now it's different, with this version of me, I can be the man I've always wanted to be, and the one my father envisioned me to be. Issei said with passion. Serena got up and kneeled close to Issei's bed. wonderful, I'm glad that you met my sister, please look after her for me, this is the one request I'm asking of you Issei-kun, not as the Mao Lucifer, but as her sister. Serena said. Always? Issei softly said, but Serena heard it. Serena scooched over to Issei and spooned him from behind. LL Lucifer-sama. Issei said in shock. Issei-kun, I'd like you to call me Serena, just when we're alone that is. Serena whispered. Don't you love it? The Crimson Satan and the crimson-haired ruined princess with the Sekiryuite, all are red and look good together. Serena bit Issei's ear from behind. I'll sleep on the futon for tonight. Issei tried to escape but was held down by Serena. No, you are cuddling me to sleep tonight. Serena now embraced Issei from the front. The two slowly fell asleep, and what awaited them the next day was something neither Riaz nor Issei are looking forward to. Morning came and the residents of the Hyoudou residence are up, except for Tiamat who left early due to being a teacher, and Riaz who left later with her sister and Graphia to explore the town for a bit and find a place for Serena to stay. Issei, Asia, I'll come to school later when they open up for the parents. Kalina said as Issei and Asia said their goodbyes and walked to school. Guo Academy. Issei is seen walking with Asia, Zenobia and Kiba across the bridge to their school until Issei sensed a familiar presence. Oh, it's you. Issei deadpanned at the sight of Vali. Vali paced her way over to Issei, listen here you little shit. We're gonna fight again, this isn't over until I say it's over. Vali pointed a finger at Issei. Oh, is it now? Issei mocked. Yes, Vali said as Kiba and Zenobia crossed their blades at Vali's neck. I think you've taken this greeting too far. Kiba's sweat dropped. You can't just go out here and pick a fight with the Sekiryuite here. Zenobia said. That's enough you two, she can't do anything here. Issei said. I'll show you what I can do. Vali flared her aura. Issei flared out his aura completely blowing Vali's out of the water. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Issei said in a cold tone. Riaz ran to the group with Kaneko and Akeno when she felt Issei's power skyrocket. Ice, what's happening here? Riaz asked in urgency. Nothing, much, everything's alright, Is shrugged. Is that Riaz said? Yes, the vanishing dragon. Issei raised his aura more. Vali felt fear and arousal at the same time as her draconic instincts took over her, causing her to submit to Issei's dominating aura. She walked off looking at the ground in shame with a flustered face that Issei noticed. Albion, what's going on with me? She asked her dragon. It would seem that you're submitting to him, which means that you see the Red One's host as a mate, a strong one at that. Albion answered. Are you serious? Vali asked in a panicked tone when she reached a safe location. Yes, you did give half your body to me, making you half dragon, that is your draconic side taking over. Female dragons will always submit when they find a mate they truly desire, that is how dragons work Vali, it is up to you whether you embrace it or not. Albion explained. What do I do at this point? Vali sighed. With Issei. Issei is seen talking with his friends Mitsuda and Motohama, who are surprisingly talking about civil things. Mitsuda asked Issei how to talk to girls, while Motohama discussed how to please a girl until Zenobia approached the group. So, all I have to do is to be direct? Mitsuda asked. Yeah, honesty gets you a lot of things, and one of them are girls. Issei said. Ice. Zenobia called out. Yeah? Issei answered. I'm sorry about what I said about yesterday, that was uncalled for. Zenobia slightly bowed. It's fine, just don't go around saying that to other people. Issei said amused. Which is why I brought these. Zenobia pulled out a pack of condoms. Hey put that down. Issei yelled. What's the meaning of this, Issei? The perverted duo bellowed. Can you just put that away? Issei begged. Oh, Zenobia-san, what are those? Asia innocently asked. Zenobia gave one to Asia. These are practice tools that we can use, here take one. Zenobia said. Boo, what's going on around here? Aika asked as she approached the group. Aika-chan, what is this? Asia asked. Aika whispered all sorts of perverted things in Asia's ear, causing her to turn red. If Zenobia is willing to sleep with Issei, then Asia-chan won't. Aika was cut off as Asia covered her mouth. Please Zenobia, just put those away. Issei begged again. Issei is seen walking towards the old school building where Riaz, Akeno, Sona and Tsubaki are seen conversing about open house. Hey, Riaz, what are you guys doing here? Issei walked over to the group. I'm sure you know why, Ice. Riaz said. Oh, yeah. This should be fun. Issei sarcastically said. On a more serious note, Issei, it seems you've finally the hacker Yuku. Sona spoke. Yeah, she's really annoying when I fraud her, but she's not something I can't handle. Issei shrugged. Goodness me, I've seen a lot of confident people and you by far are the only one who can back it up. Sona said amused. Oh, would look at the time, our parents should be here by now, I'll see you later Ice. Riaz and Sona walked off with their queens. This should be fun. Issei sighed. Issei's classroom. It was English class in his classroom, but to everyone's surprise, they were given a block of polymer clay. Alright everyone, today's activity will have you sculpt anything you desire using the clay provided to you. Begin now. Tiamat announced to the class. Boo, Asia-chan, do your best. Kalina squealed while holding her camera. This is embarrassing. Asia awkwardly said. Days, she always lugs around that camera of hers. Issei deadpanned. I can hear you, you little shit. Kalina yelled, surprising all the parents present with her vulgarity. Asia made a replica of her familiar, the sprite dragon, Rasei. Zenobia made a carbon copy of her Durandal. Issei rolled his eyes and proceeded to think of what he can make with the clay. With his own creative mind, he made an exact replica of Cavalier with all its intricate details. Mr. Hyoudou, that's quite a creation you have there. Tiamat said, garnering the attention of the class. Whoa, sick motorcycle dude, looks like it came from a future fantasy type of vibe. Mitsuda remarked. I'll have that for 5,000 yen. A student spoke. No. I'll give you 10,000 for it. Another student said. Everyone, that's quite enough, please leave your sculptures on your desk for checking, and you may leave the class with them if you wish. Time skip after class. Issei went to Riaz and Akeno along with Asia, where they presented each other's works from their classes. Ice-kun, this is a beautifully made, I wish you made me one too. Akeno said. Just give me clay and I can make you one. Issei smiled. No, I meant that you make me a statue of me. Akeno seductively said. Akeno, no fair, I want one too, Ice, I'll even model for you in the nude. Riaz said with puppy dog eyes. You'll only model for him. I'll be his to touchy verywhere. Akeno licked her 2 fingers. You can count on me for that. Issei gave a thumbs up. Hey, wait for me. Motohama's voice was heard. Come on Moto, we're gonna miss the Magi girl photo shoot. Mitsuda yelled as they ran with the other boys of the school. Oh, buddy boy. Issei facepalmed. Issei entered the school's gymnasium with Riaz, Akeno, Asia and Kiba and was presented with most of the male students grouping up below the stage, where they saw a girl in a magical girl costume and was posing for the numerous cameras that were snapping away. Is that the Mau Leviathan? Issei looked at Riaz. Yes. Riaz sighed. Alright, that's enough. Saji came up a stage and warded off the male students. The magic girl hopped off the stage and darted to Issei with Saji following behind her. If it isn't the Sparta boy. Serafal spoke. It's an honor to see you again, Leviathan-sama. Issei bowed. Alright, I haven't introduced myself properly to you. I'm Serfal Leviathan, but you can call me Levi-tan. Serafal struck a pose. Alright, Levi-tan. Issei hesitantly said. Ah, Riaz-chan, long time no see. Serafal now said to Riaz in a cute tone. I've been well, Leviathan-sama, are you here for Sona's class visit? Riaz said. Yes, I am, as her older sister, I make it my duty to never ever miss this important day for my Sona-chan. Serafal said. Serafal noticed 2 people with red hair approaching with Sona. Sona-chan. Serafal darted to Sona and held her in a tight embrace. Sona immediately had a red face from embarrassment. Wani-sama, please change your outfit, that violates the school's clothing regulations. Sona sheepishly said. Oh, come on, Sona-chan, this is my uniform. Serafal pouted. Wani-sama, I am the school's president. I am supposed to enforce the rules, even if you are my relative, I can't approve of your outfit in any way possible. Sona fixed her glasses. No way, Sona-chan. I'll be sad if I change. Sona-chan doesn't know that her Wani-chan is admired as the Milky Spiral, the magic girl with the glittering staff, the one that will go to war with angels and fallen angels for you. Serafal said in a cute tone. Damn it. I can't handle this anymore. Sona ran off with teary eyes as Serafal followed her out. Wait, Sona-chan, don't leave me behind. Serafal said. Please don't follow me. Sona went faster. Serena chuckled at the scene. The Citri household can be handful, don't you think, Ria-tan? Serena said to her sister. Please don't add Tan to my already embarrassing pet name. Ria said with a flustered face. Oh, come on, you used to follow me around the mansion while saying Wani-sama all the time. Serena giggled. Geez, Wani-sama, why did you have to remind me of my childhood? Ria's had a mad expression on her face. Snap, that's a fantastic face, Ria-tan. I'll be sure to show these to your mother who couldn't come here today. Ria's father said. Otu-sama. Ria's exclaimed. They sure have such lively private lives. Akeno said with a genuine smile. You said it. Kalina spoke from behind them. Mom? When did you get here? Issei asked. I was walking with them while deleting my presents, of course. Kalina said. Of course, you did. Issei deadpanned. I didn't expect to see you so early, Kalina-san. Serena and her father went to Kalina. I was supposed to go here much later, but I saw you with the Citri chick, so I followed along. Kalina said. Are you the Red Dragon Emperor's mother? Ria's father asked. Yes, I am. Kalina answered. It's a pleasure to meet you, I'm Zeodicus Gremory. I hope that our Riatan hasn't been trouble for you and your son. Zeodicus reached out for a handshake. Zeodicus Gremory is a handsome middle-aged man with long crimson hair tied to a ponytail with split bangs that expose his forehead, blue eyes, and facial hair on his chin. He wears a black dress shirt with a matching white blazer and pants, and black dress shoes. Kalina reciprocated the handshake. Likewise, Kalina Hyoudou, I'm not one for formalities, and no Riaz-chan hasn't been trouble, she's been a great girl. Kalin said with a smile. That's good to hear. Zeodicus glanced over to Issei. Ah, the legendary Red Dragon Emperor, it's a pleasure to meet you. Zeodicus said. Issei Sparta Hyoudou, it's an honor to meet you sir. Issei shook his hand. Kalina, would you mind if we talk in a quieter place, our children here are already embarrassed. Zeodicus said as Kalina followed. Riaz, Issei-kun, we'll be back after our talk, Serena, I'll leave them to you. Zeodicus patted Serena's shoulder. Yes, Otu Serena replied. Riaz. Serena spoke. Yes, Wani-sama. Riaz said. There's something I want to talk about with you as well. I'm sorry Issei-kun, Asia-kun, I'll be borrowing my sister for a bit. Akeno-kun, I'd like you to come as well. Serena requested. Very well. Akeno said as the trio left, leaving Asia and Issei to their devices. Hyoudou residence, evening. Look at that, Asia-chan is so cute. Kalina squealed in joy while playing a video of Asia and Issei in their classroom. Indeed, one of a parent's duties is to witness their child blossom into a wonderful individual. Zeodicus said while taking a sip of his beer. Oh, please look at the screen, it's our Riatan raising her hand and answering her teacher's question. Serena played the video. Ah. Wani-sama, you idiot. Riaz ran off upstairs. Issei followed Riaz to his room where he saw Riaz huddled up beside his bed. Riaz. Issei approached Riaz. They sure get along well huh? Issei said trying to lighten the mood. Ice. Riaz said softly. Issei scooched over to Riaz where they sat on his bed. Are you happy that you met me? Because I'm happy to have met you, so much so that I can't even imagine life without you. Riaz said with tears in her eyes. Riaz, I'll always be happy with you, I'm probably the luckiest guy around to have you, and seeing you like this doesn't sit well with me. Issei pecked Riaz's cheek. Riaz leaned and kissed Issei on the lips and draped her arms over his neck. The pair made out for a while until the lights were turned on revealing Asia with a jealous expression on her face. Asia, don't butt in when I'm being intimate with Ice. Riaz pouted. That's not fair, but you. Asia said with teary eyes. The first hit dictates the battle. I learned that from fighting Akeno. Riaz winked. Grafia entered the room. You two, enough fighting, you don't look good in front of Issei-sama. Grafia sternly spoke. That's right, bickering like children isn't a good look for both of you. Serena entered the room as well. Riaz, we need to continue what we talked about earlier in the morning. It's your other bishop. Serena said. What about him? Riaz asked. It's time for you to unseal him. Serena said in a serious tone. That's it guys. Thanks for watching and supporting us. See you in the next part.